What's going on, everybody? It's your boy the Spectrum, and we're back with another episode of Tech Tips. Now, this series is going to take a bit of a new format. I know there's only been one episode, so we don't really have much to compare it to. What was I doing there, spazzing out in that car? Jeez. Anyway, the new series is going to be, instead of me showing you a really good gameplay I got with a certain setup, or at least what I think is a good setup, good game, whatever. Instead of doing that, I'm going to show you kind of an average gameplay I got with a certain setup, and kind of critically assess it and give you some more tips for it. That, and I'll be giving you tips on certain game types as well, such as this is kill confirmed, so once I've talked about the setup, I'll be talking about the game type and how this setup relates to it. Okay, so, the first thing we're going to talk about is obviously the setup, and I'll call this the Recon setup. Obviously, it involves a perk, Recon, which, if you don't know what it does, when you cause explosive damage to an enemy through flashbang, grenades, and I think that causes any form of splash damage, they show up on the radar as if they're on an advanced UAV, but it's constant. It's more like a Blackbird from Black Ops, which is awesome. The Pro variant does the same thing, but with bullets, so if you don't finish someone off, it's great. They're around the corner, and there's teammates on the other side knowing exactly what direction they're headed in and can jump them in a gunfight. Very useful perk. Obviously, this is going to generate you a lot of assists, because you're throwing flashbangs across the map. If you get a hit mark with it, there's obviously going to be a teammate nearer to that guy first, which means he's going to kill them off for you. That's where the second perk comes into combination. Hardline. Hardline Pro, at least, which I haven't got here, I do get in a later game, but this is just testing it. Hardline Pro will basically give you a kill, or what's worth a kill, or a point, for every 2 assists you get. Meaning, every time you help someone on your team find someone on the minimap with these flashes, you're gonna get, you're gonna get further towards your setup. But here I was running specialist because I'm playing kill confirmed on my own, which basically, is kind of what I do most of the time when I'm running kill confirmed. Because there's generally not enough time to get the massive point streaks going up for anything like support, and specialist is just awesome. So those are the 2 main things you need: Recon and Hardline Pro. They will help you a lot in getting up points for your streak. In terms of third perk, I went with Marksman at this point because I don't think in this game I had Dead Silence. And Marksman's just useful with the ACOG, which you're running on the M4A1, to pick up people across long lines of sight. There's just no way a guy at long range is going to best you in a gunfight. It just isn't possible. Basically, that's just how this class works. You find people on the map, mark them out, get assists, everyone's happy. However, there are some bad things. First off, sometimes it can be quite hard to win gunfights. I was actually surprised that ACOGs are surprisingly good at close range this game. They don't seem to be as slow bringing them up to on the gun sites anymore, which has been an improvement since Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2, where it just did not pull up fast enough, making it an unviable attachment, which was quite annoying. But in this game, it's a lot easier, it has to be said, winning with the ACOG on, but it's still quite hard to win in certain gunfights. You're not running a quick draw with this, so you won't be able to snap on target as much. So that's, maybe if you're running specialist, that's the first thing you unlock, quick draw. I think it is in what I'm running here. The other thing, it requires good teammates. It really does, because what I seem to find with the average player, there's kind of a split at the moment. Some of them really do pay attention to the radar, and some of them really don't. And it's kind of like 2 extremes. Some are just normal. I guess, the randoms you jump into aren't all just average players. But I've come across people who, are moderately good at Call of Duty. I mean, they're not bad, but it's kind of like the guys who glue their eyes to the UAV and have a 10 sensitivity on with submachine guns. It's like, why? I don't understand. But hey, if that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. So you kind of require teammates who kind of pay attention to the radar and can help follow up, picking off the people who appear on it, because you're not going to get any use of someone who's just ignoring the radar. So that's kind of the setup tips. I wouldn't recommend using this if you're running solo, which I was here. I also wouldn't recommend it if you don't have a class free, mainly because this is more of one of those classes you can just randomly pull out to use on long lines of sight maps. I mean, Village is kind of a good example. It's very, very balanced in terms of you got these long bridges and stuff, and the gap in the middle around the ridge to pick people off, but it's kind of balanced. It depends where you are, really. And with Kill Confirm, the map's always moving around, so you have to be careful. There are maps where this setup would be very, very useful. Village, maybe not one of them. Finally, some more tips to Kill Confirmed. I mentioned this in a previous video, and what it seems at the moment is... I keep mentioning Crisis 2, but that's where they got the idea from. It seems like a flashback, for me at least, it seems like a flashback of Crisis 2. When Crisis 2 came out, this dog tag system was introduced to prevent people from camping. And it kind of half improved the game, half ruined it. Because the problem was that anyone can run out and pick up dog tags. That's the problem. Like, anyone can do that. It's not skill running out and camping tags. It's not skill denying kills. It's just part of the objective. The thing with Kill Confirmed is the main objective is still to get kills. As much as people think that it's an it is much more objective than regular TDM, but the objective is still to get kills and still to stay alive, which is why I still prefer domination. But I guess there's a lot of people who enjoy that, that kind of objectiveness added into TDM. But I still find a lot of people running out and just blindly looking for tags everywhere, as if they're sacred. The thing is that if you're... Okay, so if you see a red tag and a gold tag lying around and you only have enough time to pick up one of them, go for the red tag. Because it's much more important to get that prevent your opponents from getting that point than it is for you to gain a point and then just kill you and then get 2 more points. Because on your screen, there's a gold dot, there's a gold tag and a red tag. But on their screen, once you die, there's now another gold tag. So if you go out and randomly get a point for your team, they're going to get 2. So that's just something to remind yourself. Every time you see a red tag and a gold tag, go for the red tag first. It's very, very important you do this, mainly because you don't want to put your life at risk, because it's just stupid. But the second thing is, you don't want to give them the opportunity to get more points. It's sort of like... It's almost like playing domination, but instead of capping flags, like, you just sort of sit there and don't bother. That you sort of sit there and wait for your opponent to cap the flag before you kill them, and then cap it back. Because in that time, they're going to generate more points. It's better if you sit there and kill the guy on the flag. Which is something you had to kind of do in Black Ops if you wanted to get Lightweight Pro, which was kind of annoying. But anyway, that's the game. Hope you learned something from this. Takeaway, maybe you should try out the Recon set. I quite like it. I think it's a good setup. But that's for you guys to judge. Final kill with a riot shield, apparently. And that's it. Peace.